Hey guys, welcome back. It is finally week 4 in the month of love, also known as the month of March. And we are talking about love as a character trait. And in particular, in week number 4, we're talking about love in service to others. And so this is a really big topic. Frankly, we could write a whole book on this. Thousands of people have written books on love and relationships and being in service to others. So again, I'm going to stay at the macro here for this quick 9-minute video, and we're going to kind of go from the macro to the micro and then back out to the 10,000 foot level again. So in order to stay on track, not hopefully go off on too many tangents, I'm going to start with just a couple of definitions just to get us on track. So if you missed the definitions for love in week 1, I encourage you to go back and take a look at those, because what we're talking about is love as a character trait, not romance and atmosphere and activity and emotion and feeling. We're talking about character and how love is manifested into a character trait. And so we're using the definition, or I'm using the definition, I guess I'm the only one here, of one of the most commonly read Bible verses at weddings when people get married. And it's from 1 Corinthians 13 and 4 through 8. And so I found it interesting that in this definition, in this verse, is that there are many things that love is, but there are 7 things that are identified that love is not. So I probably should have gone to the Bible commentary to read, the essays about the juxtaposition, about what it is and what it is not. I'm sure there's a lot of meaning in here. But for this purpose right here, we're talking about what love is, and it's patience and kindness. Love is patient and love is kind. And then it goes into all of these what love is not. And I just find that fascinating, because it's kind of saying like what patience and kindness is not. It's not envious of what other people have, or other people's social media page, or their economic status, their kids, their husbands. Love is not boast or brag. So we don't go around telling people, or acting as if we're better than other people, or bragging about what we have or what we've accomplished. It doesn't behave rudely. So, how we behave on Facebook, how we behave to the hotel clerk, the grocery store person, each other, when we're interacting with each other. It's not selfish or self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It doesn't keep a record of wrongs. Like a couple weeks ago, I ran into someone, and the first thing out of their mouth, one of the first things out of their mouth was, "Hey, you didn't respond to my email that I sent a month ago." What? I didn't even see it. And this person's like harboring this all this time? I'm not sure. Which, coincidentally, if you're paying attention, I just called someone out as keeping track of their wrongs. But this is what we do, right? And love doesn't do that. Love doesn't call people out. Love doesn't keep track of what people are doing or not doing as a way to hold it against them. It does not delight in evil, but it does rejoice in the truth. It does bear, trust, hope, and endure in all things. So this is a tall order, right? And so we've talked about allowing ourselves to receive that kind of love, because if we're not a good receiver, we can't be a good giver. And we've talked about love in relationships, and what that looks like. And so love in service of others is kind of like this, I see it as kind of like this macro topic and this macro concept, right? Because to serve other people, if that's what love is, this verse, to serve other people, we are performing duties, we are rendering obedience to a relationship or to a system, or we are contributing to and promoting to that relationship, to that system, to that whatever structure it is that we're in, right? So that's how we serve one another. And then the others is pretty much everybody. So it starts with our spouse or our immediate family, our partner, extends out to our neighbors, co-workers, friends, and acquaintances. So we all have, 100 people in our network with school or work or church or charity or whatever it is. And then it goes out to the strangers, our community at large, our society at large, both local and global. And so that would be, every personal interaction that we have in public. If we're in traffic, if we're at the grocery store, at the library, no matter where we are, we can carry this love in service to others. And it also to customers, patrons, consumers, you know, if we're in a service type industry, that's what we do for a living. And then also people in need, and for charitable organizations. And so the reason why I wanted to use those definitions is because a lot of times, let me take a deep breath, ready? I'm getting ahead of myself. A lot of times we think about being in service to others as an act of, oh, let me go do this on Saturday, or let me go do this on Tuesday night, right? I'm going to volunteer on a board of directors, or I'm going to go to the homeless shelter, or I'm going to donate this money, or whatever our gift is, whatever our talent is. And we kind of put it into this box like, okay, I'm serving others in that way. And we don't look at it that we are serving others every single minute of our lives. Every minute we are in service to other people. And when we talk about love as a character trait, it's like, well, what do you mean every minute of our lives? Well, let's take a look at like social media, for instance, on Facebook. So whatever we're posting, if we are creating division with one another, that's not being in service to one another. We're being divisive. It's not the leader's fault. It's not the whoever's in power's fault. If we ourselves are posting things that says that group over there is hateful, that group over there doesn't have a clue, those people are wrong, these people are the problem. If we're saying that, we are the problem. We're not being in service to each other when we're doing that. We are causing division. And so many people have said, I'm leaving Facebook because I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear the anger. I don't want to hear the arguing. I don't want to hear that I'm stupid or that group over there is stupid or whatever. I've said it. I'm tired of it, right? And so I really like the relationship between Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Justice Scalia. Like, they were opposed in a lot of issues. They were vehemently, they would vehemently argue and debate about academic issues and about issues of the law. But personally, they called themselves best pals. They went to the opera together. They went to dinner together. If you haven't seen her movie about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I highly recommend it. It was very well done. But that shows me that it's possible, right? And so also, last week I talked about the Patrick Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team. And I showed you that triangle, and at the bottom of the triangle was trust, and then healthy conflict, and then commitment, and then accountability, and then results. And each one of those builds on the other. And if we don't have trust, there's no way to have healthy conflict. And if there's no healthy conflict, there's no commitment, no accountability, no results. So I think in our society, and here's where I get on my soapbox, pardon me, I think in our society, we just lost that lack of trust for each other because we're always criticizing and we're always critical in a way that is so condemning. And when there's no trust, we cannot have this healthy conflict. And so these debates, these arguments that we're having are just so destructive, and we're not getting any of the issues resolved. And I don't care what side of the aisle that you're on, both sides are equally good and both sides are equally bad. And if there's anything that is more disturbing, it's a show, and they all do it. I'm not talking about one party or another. They all do it. Every single one of them. My side is good. Here's all the things why my side is good. That side is bad. There's no humility. There's no responsibility taken. There's no accountability for, like, look, we the Democrats, we the Republicans, we the conservatives, we the liberals. Nobody stands up and takes responsibility and says, look, here's the pros and cons of my side. Here's the pros and cons of that side. How can we work together, and how can we be in service to one another in a way that is helpful? We just don't do that. And every time we turn on the TV, and every time we there's like 60 Minutes has like tons of articles where this company is using this chemical, and they know it's going to cause cancer, but they do it anyway because it's cheaper, and they don't have the safety standards because it's cheaper. That's not being in service to each other. So I'm running out of time. I got on my soapbox again, which is why this video is so late. I can't get off of it. So let me know what you think in the comments. And if you are in a situation, just take a look at your side of the fence is all I ask. And what are the pros and cons? And let's talk to each other in humility and with a grain of respect I know we can do it. I'll talk to you next week, guys. Bye.